The Galaxy S10 is finally here, and while everyone's talking about the S10 and the S10 Plus, most people aren't really talking too much about the S10e, which is surprising considering it's going to sell the most out of the three. Don't at me, bro. I'll tell you why right after this.
This is, you know you listening to Travis.
What up, players? Welcome back, and for all you new people, welcome. My name's Travis and I do tech videos every single week and have a blast doing them. If that sounds like fun to you, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Anything I talk about will be in the description below. But for now, let's just get into the video. So the S10's here. I know you're all excited. And so most of you, at least in the people in my comment section, are buying either the S10 or the S10 Plus. Speaking of which, I noticed a lot of people talking about how the Note series is too big, but opt for the S10 Plus. You do realize they're like the same size, right? And the other funny thing about this is people say that the Plus size is too big, but they're gonna go for like the 10, not realizing that the difference is like this much. So all the people with the baby hands out there are getting the S10 thinking that they're saving a whole bunch of room. They're not. The S10 Plus and the Note series is not that much bigger. It's this much bigger, and I know some of you think that's big. Some of you have been trying to convince people for years that this is big, and no one's buying it. But I digress. None of those even matter, because the S10e is likely to be the best-selling S10 of the entire year. Some of you are going to say, no way, it doesn't have all the cool technology of the other two phones, and I'm going to tell you why that doesn't even matter. There's lots of reasons for this, but really I'm just going to point to a couple. As I've said multiple times, the entire industry is slowing down on sales. Samsung last year had all types of problems selling the S9 and the S9 Plus, even though they were excellent phones. And so did Apple. Like, everyone had problems selling phones last year. And that's not really gonna change this year. Not because the phones aren't excellent, not because the S10 isn't excellent, it is, but because people have been holding onto their phones much longer. This is evident in my comment section as well, as people are holding onto phones and just now upgrading from S7s to S10. They're waiting several years before they upgrade. Those same people are trying to get a deal, a bargain. Otherwise, they would have been upgrading every year, or at least every other year. They're not really over the moon about spending $1,000 on a phone. So, enter the S10e. The S10e comes in at $749 with 128 gigs of space, which is gonna be more than a lot of people are used to, and 6 gigs of RAM, which is ridiculous. Definitely more than most people are used to. And it's gonna have most of the features of the other two big brothers. Now, here's where it gets important. We're talking here about the average consumer. Let me clarify what that means. People seem to think that if they like something, everyone likes that thing. Or if they want something, everyone wants that thing. But in the case of smartphones, the people that are watching videos like this are a very small minority. Which means if you're buying an S10 or S10 Plus because you watch reviews and you've been convinced and you like that sort of thing and you're willing to pay the extra money, you're in quite the minority. In 2017 and into 2018, Samsung sold over 300 million devices. 300 million. Now, if you take the subscriber base of all the top tech YouTubers, including their channel views for a various amount of time, especially for a specific type of phone, you're not coming close to 300 million. You're just not. And most of those views are the same people watching multiple videos. My point is, you're in the minority just by watching videos about phones. Most people don't look at phones as anything more than a text device with some Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook. And if those things work, they don't care about the rest. So when it comes time to upgrade, they're gonna walk into a store, have some dude who doesn't really know what he's talking about sell them on a phone. The first thing they're gonna ask is, how much is it? And when the sales guy says it's $749 versus $999 or $899, pretty much a no-brainer. Maybe the next question they say is, well, what's the difference? And when they start talking about an in-screen fingerprint sensor and the gimbal-like performance of the camera, most people are gonna look at their wallet, look at the sales guy, and say, give me the cheap one. And that will happen millions upon millions of times in 2019. And you're fooling yourself if you think it's any different. I'll explain why. Apple's been long known as a luxury brand. And for years, people were willing to pay too much money for sometimes less than what they should be getting. The Apple name sold itself, so you became used to that. Well, in 2018, even the Apple fans kind of rejected the whole reality of paying more for less. When the iPhone XR came out, they bought it in droves, and it outsold their higher end phones. $749 was the price. And don't think for a minute that Samsung didn't look at that and say, we need to come out with one of those too. The point is this, people want good products. They want good value. They're not looking to spend $1,000 in this economy with their taxes coming back with nothing in them at times. This is the wrong time to try to spend $1,000 on a smartphone. I know I'm not doing it this year. I guess maybe I am. But I got a YouTube channel, so I don't know what you want from me. But the average person is actually going to upgrade this year. You know, they're gonna walk into an AT&T or Verizon or T-Mobile or Sprint store and say, I need to upgrade my phone, give me the newest Samsung, and they're gonna walk out with a 10e. If the prices were different, if maybe the top end was $749 for the S10 Plus, something like that. I mean, once upon a time, top end flagships were $700. If that was the case, then yes, sure, the top end would sell. People don't want to spend $1,000. They never really have. And the average consumer, I don't know that they ever really have. All the way up until very recently, they were able to get phones for much less. And forget about the installment plan thing. Some people will say, well, you put it on installments. But there's a lot of families out there that even $10 extra a month, you just can't do it. It's a sad reality, man. There's some people out there struggling and a smartphone is the last thing they are worried about. They just need something that works. Listen, here's the thing. They're all great phones, but the reality is the S10e is gonna sell more than the other two. Now, if you don't agree with me, well, I mean, you're wrong, but please leave a comment below. Tell me why you think either the S10 or the S10 Plus is gonna sell more. And, you know, I'll mark it and, you know, when the sales come out and you're wrong, I'll make sure to talk about it. If this video helped out in any way, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And if it didn't, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I'm here every single week, having a blast. Hope to see you again real soon. Peace and love, peace and love. I wonder if I should go pre-order the 10e.